I'm in Salad and I saw Brick. It is directed by Ryan Johnson. This is a request by Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review request, you can do that at patreon.com/JSCPresents for $20 a month for one movie review. If you didn't know, this was a murder mystery. So if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. The movie starts, we're seeing Brendan, he's catching a phone call at this payphone that he got a note from his locker, and the payphone is just his ex getting a call from a woman, his ex-girlfriend. She's like, oh, Brick, oh, some pig pen, just saying like random words in like distress. And so of course she's kidnapped. What happened to her? And then we get to see him standing next to the body of her, just kind of laying in the water next to a tunnel. I'm like, oh, so she's murder, death, killed? My first thought was, oh, he must be the murderer. But then I realized, oh, he seems to be the only person who actually cares about getting justice for her. I totally understand. Not a lot of people really care about each other outside of their own circles. Makes sense. So he's in her circle, and he's like, okay, well, I gotta find some evidence. I gotta find out what happened. And you know, you got some people being like, hey, stop that. That's no good. You get some resistance. But ultimately, I like how he's able to overcome whatever resistance he comes with, including some guys just walking up and being like, oh, we're gonna start a fight, right? Because, you know, they're still in high school, there's some fights. I personally have never even witnessed like one of those classic movie fights, like a circle fight and you got two people beating up in the middle. I've never witnessed that at all. I don't know whether it was my staying in bandness, or maybe it was the fact that I didn't know how to talk to people, so I kind of just didn't talk to anyone. Maybe that's why I didn't see that many fights. Of course, we have, oh, black convertible. Emily is the chick's name that has been kidnapped and then murdered. Emily says something about a black convertible. I'm like, okay, this is a specific type of car. Oh, that black car throws out a cigarette. And then later in the movie, Brandon is like trying to piece up all the details together. What's going on? I'm curious about what's happening, what's around me. Who am I sus of, okay? I really like the fact that whenever Brandon is on screen snooping around for mysteries, and then he has to deal with some bad guys, which are related to the kidnapping, by the way. Oh, he's getting all up in their business. And so he has to fight some dudes, and he's able to hold on his own for a lot of the fights. I'm very impressed, because he doesn't look very imposing at all. He kind of looked like a nerdy guy. I was like, wait. My first suspicion was like, I don't think this guy was able to murder, death, kill anyone, because he doesn't look like he's physically strong enough. But then we do see that he fights, and he's able to fight well, and he's able to take hits well with only like minor scuffs. So it's like, okay, so he can fight. But there's a different reason why he's not the suspect. It's because he's the only one who wants to see who's actually behind the disappearance of his ex-girlfriend, Emily. Of course, the bad guys being related to the kidnappings, he investigates more into that. And he does eventually find, after lots and lots of digging, who it is. I mentioned the convertible from earlier, Brandon. He even sees the same convertible, goes up to it, he's about to break the window. We see the car owner guy. The car owner guy, you know, very mad, beats him up. Brandon, is like still touching the car, and oh my goodness, Brandon, he just like stands back up and watches him drive away. But then he's getting really accelerated at by this black convertible, that's what it's called, convertible car guy comes by, and it's like, I'm gonna get you. But he does the thing that all drivers who do this speed up trick do, is they don't actually hit you, because that would be major insurance money for me if I were the person getting hit by the car. No, what they do instead is miss you by a little bit, because on the driver's side mirror, there's about 5 feet of clearance, like from the side of the car to like your first visible thing, or at least that's what I was taught. If I'm incorrect, you can let me know in the comments. But if a person's standing, if you see a person's head, that head is 5 feet away from you. So you can really easily tell if you're not gonna hit a person or not. They're not aiming to hit this guy. They're aiming to scare this guy. But of course, he's really resilient and trying to get some information. Man, when I first watched this movie, I was really thinking I was getting into a high school drama who's looking into a bunch of murder, death, kill mysteries. Well, it turns out Brandon has to be trying to look for the guys who actually murdered, death, killed Emily, which is no good. He's trying to get revenge, trying to see who done it, try to capture the person who did it, trying to find some evidence. There's also this scene where we have Brandon just standing in a tunnel, right? He's taken to this tunnel. There's a few other guys there, but one of the guys shoots the other guy in the head, one of the other guys. I'm like, man, that's a lot of murder, death, killed to just witness. And of course, she gets murder, death, killed, so maybe she should have stayed with him. Maybe. Women always have to ruin things, don't they? For their own protection, too. She got murdered because she refused to be the better side of a guy. This is like exactly what happened in Fast 4. Yeah, Fast and Furious, the fourth one. Same thing happened to Dom. Leave your man, you get shot. That's the life lesson I've been told in this movie. But of course, since this Brendan guy is such a big brain genius in solving murders, he's able to plant some evidence to actually get the authorities on the booties of who done the murder, death, kill. And there's a lot of drugs involved, like bricks of heroin, which I didn't think existed. We have people Emily allegedly stealing heroin, which is why she was kidnapped. Looking at her, she didn't really seem like a heroin user. It kind of seems sad that she ends up in the body bag of a trunk. That's where she's found another time. Like separate from the tunnel incident, she's also yet discovered again in the trunk of somebody's car. That Brandon is talking to this chick in this football field. I really like the shot with the football field where they're talking. And you know what happens? She walks away and Brandon walks away, and that's how the movie ends. I really like the premise of this. We have a high school student whose ex-girlfriend is missing and has to find out who done it. I've been watching a lot of Rian Johnson murder mysteries recently, like Knives Out, Glass Onion. I've also been watching Poker Face. Having watched those and then watching this, I feel like the pacing is very slow. I felt like a lot of scenes were just kind of long. But you know, I was intrigued with the plot. Honestly, I feel like this movie would have been a little bit better if it were 1.5 times sped up. Personally, if for like the emotional parts were kept the same speed, and then some of like the long shots like in between like important dialogue, and also the dialogue scenes should be shortened as well. I think those parts could be shortened. So I guess, yeah, I like the movie though, in the fact that I like Brendan's character. I keep getting it mixed up between Brandon and Brendan, but I know there's a difference in spelling. I feel sad and bad for Emily. She got really young. Losing your life when you're a youngin', like a teenager, is really sad. And I'm also intrigued by why does Rian Johnson make so many murder mysteries? He's really good at it. I just wanna know why, you know? It's really good. Like, you gotta have like some sort of specific like reason to be good at something, I believe. Like whether it's trauma or like a goal or motivation. Yeah. I just really like his murder mysteries, especially Poker Face. Man, that seems to be the most recent one. And it seems Rian Johnson's murder mysteries get better with time. This is early 2000s. It was either 2003 or 2005. Dave, correct me which year it is right here. But yeah, I like the characters. Other than the pacing, I'm a big fan of Brendan, and I'm rooting for him the entire time. Pacing slow, but other than that, I gotta give this movie like a solid 7.2 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another video. YouTube really likes that. You can also like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that, or you can fast track a movie review request at patreon.com/ASCpresents. $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month. $3 a month for 250 vlogs that are up there. Plus, how to draw Pokemon tutorials will be posted there early and first on patreon.com/ASCpresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness, you go to this link tree. My Fansly is free to follow. That is my main site where you can help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews. So you go here, and until next time, I'm Mint Salad Sauce. See you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.